Alright, Clashers, this is the D here with Murder Inc. This is going to be our first video. So, to start things off, I'm going to do a video that explains basically how to plan a hog attack at Town Hall 8. It's something that I'm seeing a few mistakes made within our clan, and I'm just going to go over, basically the plans that I make and why I do certain things, and really the goal with everything I do. So the first thing I want to go over are the 4 steps. There's actually 4 steps to a hog attack. The first step is going to be the lure, which everybody seems to know. I'm actually going to screen right here and show you so I can write on the screen here a little bit. There we go. The first step is the lure. The next step is the CC kill. The next step is hog deployment. And the last step is the cleanup, which is actually the most important step. If you did the other 3 right, you get that one. And that's really what it comes down to. The biggest mistake I see people making in their plans is that when they do each step, it's almost like they're in a vacuum. It's like, I've done my lure, so it's done. I killed the CC, so it's done. Now I do my hog deployment, and hopefully I have troops left and I can clean up. But the truth is, if you do the lure the correct way, the best way, it'll make the CC kill more effective. If you do the CC kill correctly, then your hog deployment is going to be better. And then the whole raid will go better. Hog deployment is really the whole raid after these 2 steps. And then the cleanup, if you didn't do these right, your cleanup can go very badly. And that we've seen a lot of high percentage 1 stars because our cleanup just wasn't done correctly, or the other 3 steps just weren't done correctly, so there was nothing left to do the cleanup. So we're gonna clear out of that. Let's see here. Just wipe this out. So that first step with the lure, these are the things I'm looking to do. Obviously, we want to pull the CC out. Just get the CC out of the clan castle. But there's other stuff you want to try to accomplish. When you do it, you're hoping to set off a giant bomb. If you can do that, that is excellent. And it's super important. If you can set off a giant bomb when you do your CC lure, you've got a huge leg up. And I'll spend a lot of extra hogs or whatever troops I've got to do to get 1 bomb taken off. If I can get 2, good lord, that's great, but not necessary. If I can get 1 bomb, I've got a huge leg up on the base. But there's some other, but that's kind of an obvious one. Some other ones, if you can activate skeleton traps, that's great too. If you can get those out of the way, not have to use your poison on those, or if you activate 1, you've only got 1 trap to worry about. That can be great. If you can, but the other 2 are the ones that I think people don't think about as much. If you can break the ring. So in this attack, you're going to see that I come in here and take out these 2 defenses. Now, I've never seen, this base hadn't been attacked before, so I didn't know where the bombs were, but I thought there could be some bombs right here. It's a good spot for them. It's in between 2 buildings, so I want to take these out and then clear that out if there were double bombs there. Turned out there weren't double bombs, but it wasn't all lost because I took these 2 out. When I came in here, instead of going around and splitting, my hogs going in different directions, they followed a path around the base. And that allowed my heals to be more effective because all my hogs were in the same place. I got a lot of value out of my heals, which we're going to talk about later. But if I hadn't broken this ring right here, that's not how it would have happened. My hogs could have gone all over the place, and you guys have seen what happens when you do that. Let's get rid of that. And then another thing that you can do is eliminate defenses that could affect your CC kill. A lot of people are using witches, which I like most of the time against a drag. It's pretty effective. It's a simple CC kill. But if there's mortars on the edges where you want to go with your CC kill, that can be a problem. That can be a really, really big problem, actually. And if you can take out a defense that's going to affect your CC kill, where you want to go with your CC kill, with your kill squad, then that's going to be a lot of value there too. So there's a lot of value you can get in your CC. It's not as simple as just sending in a hog or a giant or whatever. Granted, if you can pull the CC by dropping one barb, maybe that's the best way to do it. Maybe it is. That's a lot of value there because you spent nothing to get it done. But whenever you're thinking about your lore, you need to be thinking about value and about how it's going to affect the rest of the raid. All right. The next step is the actual CC kill, and I've seen some pretty crazy stuff. The big thing is you have to be efficient, and I'm probably going to spell this word wrong, but whatever. You have to be efficient with your CC kill. People who are bringing witches, you're bringing 2 witches, which is 24 troop space. Generally, you're going to spend 3 to 4 barbs. It's generally 4, so you got that right there. And then I'm seeing people dropping 6 wizards with witches sometimes. And that's, 24. You've got 52 troop space right there. 52 troop space that you've spent on killing a drag and maybe a balloon or a couple other things. And I even see people use their poison spell at this point. The fact is, if you've spent 52 troop space, those troops have to live. They have to, because they have to keep doing work. You can't spend almost 25% of your troop space and only get the dragon killed. All right. The truth is, when you've got 2 witches, you only need 2 or 3 wizards with it. 2 or 3 wizards at the most. At the most. You don't need to drop all your wizards. And if you drop all your wizards, then you're going to be in super big trouble at the end of the raid because you don't have those cleanup troops. Now, the other way of killing the CC is using wizards and barbs. The biggest mistake I'm seeing our people make is that they're not bringing the barbs. Okay? You have to bring the barbs. They're dropping 10 wizards, and that's 40 troop space. Not quite as much as the witches, but the thing is, if the witches stay alive, they do tons of cleaning. They do tons of work. Every time I see this, all the wizards are dead at the end of it. So you just burned 40 troop space and got nada for it. Nothing. When what you could have done is brought 3 to 4 wizards for the actual CC kill and just drop barbs. Dink, 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 dink. If you could drop 7 barbs under the dragon, and that would distract it, and these 3 or 4 wizards would kill the dragon while it just sat there and targeted barbs. And you've saved almost half your troop space doing that. So I'm not saying don't bring 10 wizards, but I'd much rather see you bring 8 and 8 barbarians and get an easier CC kill that uses less troop space and leaves you with 4 or 5 wizards at the end. And when I do the actual replay on this attack, you're going to see how important that can be and how it can save your raid. And the next thing I want to talk about with the CC kill is, if you can do it, if the king's in the right place, as you're going to see he is for this raid, take out the king with your CC. If you're bringing witches especially, if you can kill their king with those witches, it almost doesn't matter if they die. You don't want them to, obviously, but if they die, but you took out the CC, took out a king, took out a few trash buildings, that kind of thing, and they die immediately, that ain't the end of the world. That king just wreaks havoc on your hogs while they're running through the base. Granted, if it's in the middle, you probably can't do that, but if he's on the outside like this, you've got to take that. And if you have to, trade your king for their king. That's totally fine. Granted, if you can send your CC troops at him safely with your king, keep your king alive, keep your CC alive at the same time, that's best. But if you got to trade king for king, or CC or kill squad for king, whatever, take that king out. It's gonna help you out in the rest of the raid. Finally, we're going to talk about hog deployment. Now, what you're going to find by the time I deploy my hogs, I have killed these 2 buildings right here. I've taken out the CC. I brought in my troops down my kill squad here, and I've taken out the king. King's gone. So what I did, I came in with my, and I think maybe even this building was gone. I sent my hogs in here and here, just two finger drop right here. Now if you look at the pathing, the next closest thing to where my hogs are going to be is this building, so they're going to come here. And right here, the next closest building, if this one's still alive, it would be here, but I think it was dead. They're going to come here, and then they're going to come here, then they're going to come here, and here. Now, I think he had Teslas in the moat, so they might have split this way a little bit. But for the most part, they just followed this ring around the base. I think they had to double back a little bit for this guy. At one point, a few did. But that's what happened, and I was able to keep heals on them as they went through. And because I had broken this ring in my lore, they didn't split apart. They were much more effective throughout the raid. Things kind of went haywire at the end. Again, I didn't know anything about this base. And I made a slight error in the way I decided to get to the CC, which you're going to see. I made the wrong guess as to where the double bombs were. I went with the less obvious way, but you know, it all worked out in the end, which you're going to find out. And that's the big thing, and why I chose this video over a lot of other videos. The final step, is the cleanup. Here's the thing: if you did a good job and were efficient and got value in your lore, and you didn't spend too many troops, you were more efficient, got more value out of your kill squad, and you did your hog deployment in the correct way, your cleanup, you're going to have plenty of wizards left. And that's what you want. You want to have, if you can, 3 or 4. You don't want to have like 10 wizards left, you know, because then you brought too many wizards. But if you can have anywhere from 3 to 6 wizards left at the end of the raid, it's going to save you. And you know, when I came in here, once I saw that my hogs were good and I dropped a heal, you're going to see that I start dropping wizards. I think about this section right here, in here, is where I start dropping wizards around the base. And those wizards end up winning the raid for me, because as you're going to see, my hogs couldn't do it in the end. But this is, you guys have to think about everything working together and getting value at every step. Don't think of each step in a vacuum. Plan it out. You know, once I do this, what am I going to need to do next? What's the board going to look like after I make my first step, after I do that lore? After I do my CC kill, what's the board going to look like? What can they get? What kind of value can they get? And then once I've done that, what is the board going to look like? Where should I send my hogs so that they're going to A, stay together, so I can get value out of my heals, and B, trip double bomb sets in a way that's going to keep them alive. You know, again, doesn't always work out, as you're going to see, but that's it. So I'm going to do the replay here. It's going to take just a second because I'm going to log back in. My screen right actually kicks me out if I'm out long enough. So let's get back in here. Oh, and you'll see that this is actually Dirty Skeet's account. I borrowed it because I was planning on doing this and I wanted to have a Town Hall 8 raid. But here goes. Let's take a look at it, see how it went. Alright, so sent one in. Wanted to make sure there was no giant bomb on the outside. Again, it hadn't been hit. Ended up sending another one in. I'm used to attacking with level 5 hogs, so I really wasn't sure about the strength of these hogs. Didn't remember. Again, I was hoping there was double bombs there. There weren't. Sent my, you know, guys, when they have this little builder hut on the outside, don't do that first of all on your bases. It makes it so easy to anchor, but you got to take advantage of it. Oh, and I dropped my witches behind it when they got, not when they were on top of them. Obviously, you got to give your witches a chance to develop. With the king out there, I just went ahead and dropped my king. You notice I only used 2 wizards. There's 2 wizards down. I might have used one other one, but, you know, kept it minimal. And I've already sent my hogs in because everything was taken care of. Dropped the heal there because they were on some high HP buildings, and there's a big cluster of buildings there. So that's, you know, you're going to get good value out of your heels. Your hogs are going to stay there for a while. Again, right here, big cluster of, oh, that, yeah, they the pathing messed them up. They got hit by that spring trap, but no worries, they got back down there, took them out. And here they come. One bomb set, I felt really good, you know, I stopped them from getting hit by a bomb there, you know, and then realized, oh, there's only one place for the double bomb set, and I am in no way prepared for it. But as you notice, my witches, my wizards, they're up all over the place, wrecking stuff. There's even 2 defenses left. Those double bombs took them out, but there's 2 defenses left. But my king's still alive. All these witches and wizards are still alive. Watch as it happens right before your eyes. Really, I honestly thought I was done. I thought I made a mistake. I wish I'd come in here, but hindsight's 20/20. Could have very easily had the double bombs over where I sent them in and would have looked like a genius, but I thought I'd just done a very, very extensive scout. But look at this. All these witches and wizards just do the work. I'm going to speed it up a little bit here, because this video is already stupid long. And voila, there you had it. Got value from the very beginning, and even though I made a couple of mistakes, guessed wrong in a couple of places, I still was able to take it down. So those are the things you gotta look for. I'm gonna have this, you know, this is made for Murder Inc., our clan, but anybody can step on and, you know, make comments, and I am ready for the negative comments. I'm not gonna say that I'm the best at this. The truth is, if you want to watch the best in the world, you need to watch One Hive Raids. That's where I got most of my knowledge. But I'm going to keep making these videos. We'll probably have some more recaps up eventually. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like it if you did. Have a good one.